In the video, you guys have missing teeth. Do you really have those missing teeth?
I did, and then it got fixed.
I'm still rocking it. I got the...
Oh, nice. Is there a good story behind your tooth?
So normally I just say...
Welcome, boys. How we doing?
Hello.
Dude, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks
you
for having
guys.
us.
I said dude because I'm used to one person chatting with, but I got the whole band. And I do have to point out, so this is our new session space. This is where artists come and perform acoustic
great.
sets. And Tommy headed this project. Killed it. So Tommy, thank you for coming up with this.
Shout out to Tommy.
Great idea. But you guys are out here in LA.
Yeah.
It's been a busy couple years for you guys. I caught you guys at the Pomona Show at the Real Friends with Con show. And that was so sick. I was like, oh my goodness. So I've been listening to you quite a bit since then. And I have to say, the path that you guys have taken in the past couple years with the releases, it's mind-blowing in a really cool, good way. Because a lot of the time, musicians now, they're going in towards the pop-punk direction. Like, it's kind of hitting the mainstream a bit more. There's artists who are just shifting their focus into pop-punk. You guys did something so wildly fun and different because when you listen to Better Off,
We're not the people we expect to see. So when the time comes, will you believe in me?
and then you listen to anything you've done since then, it's just a world of difference.
Stop it for a bit. Take a seat, have a drink, get comfortable. I know what you like, and I know that it's so hard to find.
I mean, we worked really hard on Better Off, and it was an effort on a bunch of different musicians writing a bunch of different music coming together, and then me and Daniel kind of gluing them all together. That was the Better Off writing process. But when that didn't really stick, like She's Quiet did great.
Maybe I'll stay this hard, whether you would ask me to. I'm back into it. Letting your hands in mud. I can only get so far without your gun.
I mean, we all really like pop punk, but we all listen to a way bigger variety of music than that. When it didn't totally stick, we decided if we're not gonna like make it, we should probably just make whatever we want to make. And it kind of just came down to me and John working together to make something that was more indicative of what we listen to on a regular basis. And then just like combining our writing styles, and that's kind of how it happened over time. And then we just started finding different musicians that we really love and inspire us, and to help us pull it together. And it was great. And I'm way more happy with the product. Not that I don't like Better Off, but Slow Bloom is, in my opinion, a much better album.
Yeah, I think, we kind of had to take a good, hard look at ourselves and really be like, okay, well, if we're not going to make money doing pop punk, why don't we just do whatever we want to do, have fun with it, and really,
still not make money.
And still not make money.
not make money,
but
but
at
be
least I'm
happier
like
with the
happy with the product. Absolutely. I think it's very interesting. I feel like as I kind of reflect back on, kind of the things that we've done so far, I feel like there's like this, I feel like we became more genuine to ourselves with Slow Bloom. Like, this is like stuff that we really find very interesting, cool, and all the influences we're pulling from like just excite us. And I think people can kind of pick up on like that genuine feeling. I think it's really, I don't know. I feel like it's just been kind of interesting to kind of hear people talk about like, oh wow, it's such a unique, filled album, blah, blah, and it's like more true to ourselves, which has been cool that people enjoy that.
Yeah, I think,
and I feel like Better Off is what we thought people would want to hear from a pop punk band, but Slow Bloom is what we want to hear. Like, is just the art that we wanted to create.
Yeah. What genre do you guys classify it as now?
We kind of called it heavy pop as like a bit.
Yeah, well, that was like,
now it kind of, I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe it works. I don't know. Alternative rock is a pretty big blanket.
Yeah.
So
and
when
it can
people
definitely encapsulate that.
Yeah, if I'm like on the street and I meet somebody and they're like, "Oh, you're in a band. What kind of music do you make?" I usually like say, we're rock band, alternative rock, whatever, kind of pop punk adjacent type thing.
I think it was Hansel from Nightlife that coined heavy pop.
Shut my mouth so often, 'cause no one wants to hear what I've been talking.
Oh, really?
I think that's where I got it from.
Did we steal it?
Well, I heard it from Skye and Ty because they were talking about like Issues being like a heavy pop band.
guys worked with Skye on Bloom, right?
Yes.
How was that? Because I mean, this album, it has so many cool, funky riffs. Like I imagine that stuff is so fun to play live because it just sounds so fun. It's one of those albums I feel like every time you listen to it, you realize how many layers of different things are going on in the songs.
Oh, baby, you know it's hard to find someone like you. Think with your heart like you always do. I don't wanna start pretending I'm older. I don't wanna wait till I can come over now. 'Cause it's just more of the same. There's no other way to make it like I do. And when it counts,
But it's just so fun to keep listening to over and over. And Skye, that dude is wild on the bass.
Skye is an insane musician. And I think the thing that was the most valuable to us was that he saw our vision when not a lot of other people really did when we were working on the demos for Slow Bloom. We had a different producer that we'd worked with in the past that we were going to go to, and when we sent him the demo, he sent back some synth changes or drum changes, things like that, and pretty much none of them hit the mark for us. We were just like, that's not really what we're going for. Like it was very much so more in the vein of like what we would have done on Better Off. And when we told Skye that, he was like, I think I get it. I think I know what you guys are going for. And it was his idea to produce it.
That's great. Awesome.
Yeah, he was the one who was like, I would love to work on this with you guys. And we were like, yeah, that'd be amazing. So he came to Seattle for like a little over a month in summer of 2020. And it was just awesome. He clearly got it.
He is without a doubt the most talented musician I've ever been in a room with.
Oh, he's putting out his own solo stuff now as well.
And it's incredible.
It's all so good. I ran into him a couple months back, and I just had to pick his brain and just chat with him about what he's been up to. Because when I saw he joined 21 Pilots as well, that is so sick to see him up on stage with those guys. I'm like, damn, you deserve that, dude. Because I always thought Issues was fantastic as well. I mean, just the instrumental side of that. So how was it for you guys doing such a big music shift when you've built up a fan base that maybe expects one sound, and then all of a sudden you're like, we're about to give you something completely new? Was it nerve-wracking at all? Was it exciting? A mix of everything?
I didn't know if anybody was gonna like it.
I feel like one thing that I'm like so happy with is like the fan base that we had cultivated with Better Off are honestly some of the most kind and accepting people that like I've ever come across. And it's been really cool just to see and hear all the support from the people that have honestly been there since like day one. And it's really, it kind of humbles me and makes me so happy that like, kind of whatever we decide to do, it seems like they're just going to have our backs. And that's such a cool feeling to have.
Yeah, I feel like we really didn't see too much flack of like people who wanted, the pop punk sound not following us like along the whole journey. Like one or two comments on YouTube, but like as far as pop punk bands go, I think we had a punk beat in 2 songs over our entire discography. So it's not like, it's not like we had a ton of that genre in our DNA before.
Yeah, because even with stuff like on Fashion Forward, I think that was kind of a look as to what you guys built off of.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
so is it better if I'm locked inside? Or am I good enough to be your type?
And, oh, by the way, the best actors, the best catsters in the world. I know, is it Sophia and Izzy?
Man, done your homework.
That's their names.
That is them.
I loved it, though, that the cats were front and center in that video. So good stuff. You're a cat guy, I'm guessing, then?
Yes.
Oh, my God. You're literally wearing a cat shirt right now.
Top Gun cat rip.
I don't think I've had good enough experiences with cats. They've been mean to me. I'm very allergic to them.
It is cool since a lot of people know that like I'm the cat guy. On tour, people will like DM us cats and stuff.
You get tweeted at all the time.
Yeah, people tweet at us with their cat pictures, and people will show like they'll come up after the show when we're like meeting people. They'll say like, oh my God, my cat loves to watch the Fashion Forward video. Well, it's very sweet.
Wait, is the song "Eat You Up"? Is that what it's called?
But when you turn off the lights, are you still awake? Well, don't let it hit you up. Don't let it hit you up.
In the video, you guys have missing teeth in it. Do you really have those missing teeth? Because it looked so believable.
I did, and then it got fixed.
Whoa! So what happened to knock your tooth out, and how did it time up so perfectly for this damn video?
So I lost my tooth when I was a wee lad, and I fell face first into concrete, so it kind of explains his ugly mug.
That's what happened.
And
No, I'm
then
just kidding.
that was what it was. I looked like Antonio Banderas prior to that. So, but anyway, it was basically when COVID hit, I was like, oh man, I gotta actually I gotta do some dental work, because I'm not going out, I'm not going anywhere, I'm wearing a mask everywhere I go. So I should just take care of it and fix this tooth.
It was the best time to be missing a tooth. With a mask
Absolutely,
on
yeah. No
everywhere.
one was seeing me. I wasn't going anywhere. I was like, this is great. But the process was so long. It took many years. But I had like a flippable retainer thing that I could take out, and I just was like, this is a funny gag, so I'll just do it until they put the permanent one in.
I'm still rocking it. I got the.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's
so,
sick. Is there a good story behind your tooth, or did it just
So
come that
normally
way?
I just say trampoline accident because then people think I'm doing some crazy flip and then I eat it. But in reality, I was 12 or 13. I was walking to a trampoline. I then tripped and slammed my face on the
You didn't even
metal
make it to
bar.
the trampoline yet?
I didn't even notice too. I was jumping with my friend, having a good time, and then I actually cut my tongue pretty bad on my tooth because it was so sharp, and I was just like, "Whoa, that's weird. It's kind of crazy. What's going on?"
And you said it was half broken, right?
Oh yeah, it was half gone. It was a messy healing process.
But it looked beautiful and eat you up. I thought that it was great.
Worth
so
it for the bit.
Good
Oh,
stuff.
absolutely.
It worked for the bit for sure.
Technically, I could unscrew this tooth.
All right, let's do it right now. Can we zoom in on that?
You got a
My
screwdriver
dentist,
on you?
But my dentist can use the little I think it's just literally just like a one of those hex. It's like a hex wrench. So you just literally can unscrew it and take it out.
What music were you guys listening to growing up? Because in hearing the stuff now, there's so much going on, like I said earlier. So as you guys were young lads, teenagers, the Warped Tour days, which I'm sure you were all going out to, at least some of you.
Oh yeah.
What were you guys listening to?
You ever heard T-Pain? I'm just kidding.
I have heard T-Pain.
I'm not
And that
kidding. I
man can
actually
sing.
love T-Pain.
One of my favorite things is when he it went viral that he could sing without the auto-tune. But who were you guys growing up listening to?
It's funny. You were like, oh, yeah, going to Warped Tour and stuff like that. I actually kind of grew up more of a death metal kid.
Sweet. What bands?
I actually feel like it's very interesting. In high school, I was listening to a lot of radio rap, and I will die on this hill. 50 Cent's "Get Rich or Die Trying" top 10 album for me. Incredible record. So many hits on there. Insane.
Go shorty, it's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday. We gon' sip Bacardi like it's your birthday. And we don't give up, cause that's your birthday.
Then my brother and his friend showed me Megadeth's Rust in Peace, and then it was like, whoa.
Game changer.
Holy shit. I did not know that people could do stuff like that. And then I kind of went down that rabbit hole of, getting the Black Dahlia murder. Or Lamb of God. Lately, I kind of been more into blackened death metal, like Behemoth. And Dimmu Borgir.
Checked out Brand of Sacrifice?
Yeah, they're great. Oh man, we just were talking about that guy because apparently he can also sing
Kyle,
super
his
well.
previous band that he did. Oh, I forget what they were called. But he
The
was,
After Image, is that them?
Yes.
Yeah.
A season without the frigid takes my breath away.
It blew my mind when I realized I was the same person in both bands.
Yeah.
He's like a proper high singing vocalist. And
Yeah,
I was
he's
just
insane.
like, bro, what the hell? Like, you're
Yeah.
full on just technical death metal now.
Yeah, straight up.
I grew up in Aberdeen, Washington, which is where Kurt Cobain.
I know. I was
grew
born in
up.
Seattle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
cool.
I was born in Woodinville.
Yeah.
That's
okay. Word.
where I lived till I was
Close to
5.
where Daniel grew up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I grew up in Bellevue.
Oh, cool. Right on.
So, yeah, I grew up going to a lot of punk and hardcore shows. All my first shows in my first band were playing with a bunch of straight punk bands called Malicious Mischief and
That sounds
crazy
about
stuff
right.
like that. And then I kind of grew up, started getting really big into the Warped Tour scene. Bless the Fall was a huge band for me. Under Oath, things like that.
Up against the wall, up against the wall. You got me up, I get you out. This is the way.
I listened to a lot of prog. Like, Coheed and Cambria was like my favorite band growing up.
Your eyes tell the stories of the day you wish you could.
The Deer Hunter is another one that was really, really great.
I was in love with inner ambiguity. Then I learned to turn emotions into weaponry.
Circus Survive, amazing.
Don't talk about it, write it down, but don't ask for help. I can't be honest with even myself.
That kind of stuff took me through high school for the most part. And then once I got into college, I started listening to like progressive metal a lot more and a lot more like metalcore adjacent bands. I think my favorite band was Era in college. Born of Osiris, that kind of stuff. I listened to quite a bit of that. And then like 4 years ago, I just randomly pivoted to listening to contemporary R&B.
Really?
Yeah, that's
Jeez.
like I listen to modern progressive R&B like more than any other genre now.
It definitely started with new metal. So when I discovered Linkin Park and Limp Bizkit and System of a Down, absolutely changed my life.
I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
High school, I got definitely into the Warped Tour scene, so lots of post-hardcore. Eventually kind of progressed into deathcore. That like deathcore and metalcore is what I listened to mostly in college.
Yeah, me too. I was in metalcore bands and stuff. Like that was my
Exactly.
everything.
That was before we started the home team. That was the thing I tried to do. Didn't work out all that good. So now we're here. And then now, honestly, it's pretty diverse. I do not want to say I listen to everything because that is not true. But like as we're like kind of growing in our career, I'm actively trying to listen to as many different things because I know I always fall back into the same tropes. Like I don't need to listen to They're Only Chasing Safety every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know, like I love the record, but I don't need to listen to only that.
It's cool to hear all the different stuff you guys listen to and then what you guys have cohesively been able to come and create together. And what I love too is I feel like you've really created a sound for like, this is the home team sound. So you guys are writing stuff. I know that you're probably eager and excited to put out new stuff. Is this, I'm guessing you're at least taking the process of the last album and doing that this time around, not the exact same thing, but you've seen what it was like.
It's been different because now we have a lot more resources.
Yeah.
And so we are able to hit up other people and say like, hey, let's work together and things like that. So it's been more. It's funny. Better Off was very collaborative in the sense that it was more people working on it, but it wasn't as collaborative because the only real thing gluing it together was you and me.
Yeah, it was like, Brian writes a song, bassist at the time writes a song, other guitarist writes a song. John wrote most of it, but it's like all different people writing the song and then bringing it to Brian and me.
Then Slow Bloom was collaborative within our camp, and this one has been collaborative within our camp and more. And it's been cool. It's been different. It's been interesting. It's been fun. And we are obviously wanting to take all the good things about the way that Slow Bloom went, use that again, and it's going to be closer to Slow Bloom than Slow Bloom was to Better Off. That's for sure. It's not going to be the same album again, but I'm very excited about it so far. It's been great.
Yeah, it's been great, and also just like we're getting pushed in ways that I think we weren't pushed before. And again, like this comes back to resources, but now it's like we're working with new people and they have these ideas, and it's like, oh, I've never thought of it, music in that way, or just. Basically, I think everyone is getting pushed way further than they were before, which is going to, hopefully yield some really amazing results.
Yeah.
And the tour is coming up, which you guys got Honey Revenge coming out on it.
Mm-hmm.
I love them. They are so good. And that thing is just, by the way, everyone check out their Are You Impressed music video. Catch a cameo of me in it.
Nice.
It's really good stuff. But that tour, it's selling the hell out.
Yeah.
Like, that is so sick. And I know you guys have done a couple headliners before, right?
Yeah.
Brother.
couple.
I want to talk about headliners. Okay, we have it's funny because I'm sure to a lot of people it feels like we've kind of like, just come up, like we're a relatively new band, but we started in 2013 and we've done 15 or 16 DIY headliners.
tours,
So you've done a couple headliners.
Yeah,
We've done a couple.
We went.
Nobody was showing up, but like,
Yeah, there was no one
we
there.
were there.
There was nobody there.
We were there.
Test runs, practice.
Yeah, this is the first like big one. Other than we did a West Coast run for the release of Slow Bloom.
Right, but this is the first like proper full U.S. headliner where we are headlining because we want to headline, not
we have to.
No one will tour with us, so we will do it ourselves.
And you also got Broadside coming out on it,
Yes.
right?
Now call me Tony Danza. Everybody throw hands up. Feels like I got nothing. Yeah, I think I need an angel. Oh, no, you feel low. You've been down this path before, okay? And even still for my best days.
And I think it's going to be Honey Revenge's first tour. So I'm
Yeah,
stoked
yeah.
that you
Yep.
guys are bringing them out on that because their music is so good. Oh, so good. Have you guys, has it been announced that you're signed to Thriller? Are they working?
It will be by the time
the
this
video-
comes out.
Which is awesome. Again, Honey Revenge, they're a part of that. Bob Becker, I love that man.
God
great.
bless
Big
Bob
fan.
Becker.
Yeah, obviously
God bless
the-
Bob Becker.
To Bob Becker.
He'll know.
You'll know.
I don't even know, but I'll give it no. But because I've said it before, but he's the guy who created Fearless.
Yep.
And then I was out at a Hot Milk show, and he was there. And then he was just talking about Thriller, and he was so excited just to get back to his roots of finding
Yeah.
bands that he's passionate about and giving them a label. So how did you
Super
guys
cool.
get teamed up with them?
We talked to a variety of labels after Slow Bloom came out, and to be honest with you, he seemed the most genuine. That's
such a
really what it
genuine
came
guy,
down to.
He was very much the most like straight shooting. We would ask him tough questions. He'd answer them. And he'd shoot tough questions back at us, which is something I very much appreciate in this moment in time when so many people kind of like, want to gas you up or whatever. It's like, I prefer someone just tell it to me straight.
Yeah, and
And when we went around and asked just like anybody we knew about their experiences with different labels, he was consistently regarded in a positive light. No one had anything bad to say about him. Everyone said, for better or for worse, he cares and he always treats his bands with respect.
Yeah.
And that was probably the thing that won us over, I think.
That's exciting because their roster is just continuing to grow into really cool stuff. I don't know if this is a weird question or not. When you're going to play a show at a venue and then you have to upgrade it to another venue, what happens? Does the original venue that it was going to be at, did you just say like sayonara, or is it like
question for Daniel.
How does
That's
that
a
work?
great- that's a
I've
great
always
I'll leave
wondered
that to the
that.
suits.
It is usually no. As far as I know, it's always with the same promoter. So the promoter has multiple venues they work at.
Yeah.
And so the ones we've had the most success with, I think, have always been Live Nation venues. So they have like their smaller one. The smaller one sells out. As it's getting close to selling out, our agents reach out to the promoter and they're like, hey, do we have any other options to go bigger? So that's basically how it goes.
That answered my question.
And also shout out to Jason and Nina, for pushing us too, because when they were booking the tour, they were like, okay, here are the rooms you're going to be playing. And I remember looking in Seattle. You know Numos.
The only venue up there really that I know is Chop
Elko.
Suey up there.
Yeah,
That's
It's
the
not too
only
far from
venue.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the one you know? Well, he must have, yeah.
I lived in
so-
Seattle till I was 5.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I thought I was like, oh, you
I
just
forgot
moved
to
down.
point
Okay.
that part out.
No sweat. But basically, there's a venue there, Numos, legendary venue, and the cap was $650, and I remember being like, I don't know.
We were
I don't
sweating.
know. I was like, I don't even know if we could do half that. Like, I don't know. And they were just like, we're not going down. We're going to stay
we
here.
suggested a smaller venue, and they're like, no. we're not
No.
gonna
And
do
we're like,
that.
okay. And then it sold out, and I was like, okay, yeah,
Right,
they
yeah, you were right.
they know more than me do. That's for damn sure.
Now we're looking around like, can we showbox available? Can we upgrade that?
Which is great. That's so exciting. Like that's got to feel good, especially because after 15 some odd DIY tours and a couple just years and years of working hard and grinding, does it feel like it's finally starting to actually work?
Dude, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone.
It is insane.
I feel like I shouldn't be here.
Yeah. It does not feel real that like we keep seeing the numbers go up.
Yeah.
More shows
Yeah,
selling
and
out.
if anything, it kind of makes me feel better. It's like, hard work, like as cornball as this is, hard work does pay off. Like you have to, but you also have to
Eventually.
adapt and learn. Like there's one thing about this industry is like you have to do that. And if you don't do that, you're just going to be left behind. So it's just been very much like, okay, if you can put in the work and actually learn along the way, then it will work for you. You just have to keep believing.
Also, not knowing when to give up. Don't.
We should have given up a long
I mean,
time ago.
Yeah, I think we've all had experiences with our previous bands, respectively. We're just like
Previous? This?
Yeah, even with the home team, I think we've all had a moment where it's like, we should probably just call it.
It's been a while.
Oh yeah, I
It's
mean,
been
there's
a
like
long road.
You definitely, especially when you're doing your DIY tours, there's just places you show up to and you're just playing. You're playing to, maybe the other bands that are there, and you just kind of go in your own zone. You're like, what am I doing here? Why am I here?
Right, and then as soon as you get back, all your friends are like, so how much money do you make per show each?
Well, I'll tell you what we spend each show. That's more what it's like. Who are you guys writing with out here now? If you can say anything, if you want to reveal.
Well, Skye again, for sure, and his brother Ty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who were both in Issues at a time. Because
Yes.
I know Tyler was doing the the electronic side of it and stuff.
Correct, and he's also a wizard. That family is just insane.
Oh, they're so talented.
A buddy of ours, Zach Jones, he works with.
I know Zach Jones well. He
figured
works
you
with
would.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody so far. Oh, we did, went in with Jaden for a day.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's where you met Jaden's Frankenstein.
Yes.
Yeah. Was it at his home studio?
It was.
That I haven't been there, but I saw when he was building it out and stuff, and it looked so sick. So I'm glad that you guys got to work with him because I love WithCon. Glad you guys got to tour with them on their final tour.
Mm-hmm.
So are we.
Very sweet boys.
Yeah. Wait, John? Are you the one that has that spiky guitar strap? By the way,
I do.
That was the first thing I saw when you guys were playing, and I was like, that thing is so sick.
Yeah, like I said, I have like death metal roots, and my one of my very close friends, Kyle, he plays in a death metal band called Vitriol on Century Media. He also builds these insane straps, and I was like, man, I gotta have one. He's like, all right, well, what do you want? And I told him, I was like, just think of like a cocaine drug kingpin, like that aesthetic, and just do that. And so it was this white croc with gold spikes, big, dumb. It's incredible. I love it.
I'm going to twist it. John is straight edge.
I am straight edge. I just love the aesthetic.
Have you guys ever ran into him on stage with it, and you just get
Not
killed?
yet.
No, I'm pretty good about like being aware of my surroundings and stuff like that where I'm
you
at.
could body
You know?
check somebody and probably.
Which one?
I know.
Which one of you two did I see eat it off the stage?
That was me for sure.
Oh, that was a good video, man.
Oh yeah, it was a rough one, but it was worth it for the TikTok cam, so I'll take it.
Good. I'm glad you're okay, and I'm glad you weren't wearing the spikes because
Oh,
if
boy.
you fell into the crowd,
Different game.
you would have
Different
killed
game.
someone. Anything else planned before this tour kicks off? After the tour, whatever you guys are doing. What's coming up? Oh, Census Fail. tour,
Census
I guess.
Fail.
Which
Just
is
announced on the tour.
so sick because we all grew up in that era to where I'm sure that is sick as hell that you're going out with Census Fail.
Oh yeah, I remember.
You just
I
said it
remember
out
playing-
loud. And I
Yeah, it's surreal. It's so surreal.
I remember playing that song on Guitar Hero.
Whoa.
And that's just picking up a couple weeks after the headline tour, right?
Yeah, we were only home for like 2 weeks and then we go right back out. But that one's only like 12 shows.
All right.
It's not it's not too long. And then when we get back from that, we will get right back to finishing this album.
Cool. Any further plans with it when you're trying to put it out? Is it gonna? Tommy, damn it! Have you guys actually started the recording side of it, or is it kind of just the real pre-pro?
Kind of
at this point.
somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any
We'll
plans
see what
to
happens.
put it out this year? Hopefully.
Hopefully, that is a goal.
Good
That is
stuff.
the goal.
Anything else worth discussing, chatting about, bringing up?
That's a great question.
Come see us on tour.
Yeah, come see us on tour.
Yeah, I think it might be hard to get tickets at this point. But
Maybe a
Yeah,
little bit.
That's a
little
good,
bit.
If you
but-
go to a Texas date, you'll have plenty of tickets. If you go to
Northern California.
Northern California, yeah. And some
South
of the venues got
Carolina?
upgraded.
Yeah, there's
so-
some upgraded venues
For the 5 people that live in Reno, Nevada, you could probably come see us there.
let me tell you
too. Reno's not
something.
sold out.
That's where I grew up my whole life, Reno, Nevada.
Oh, how
No
about that?
After
way.
I
Did you know the 4 other people?
Yeah, I'm a triplet actually, and they're my siblings, so they'll be at the show. No, but so when I was 5, I moved from Seattle to Reno.
Yeah.
And that's where I grew up. Where are you guys playing there? If you even know.
We're playing the
Holland
Holland
Project,
Project.
Oh, sick! Yeah, I know it well. That's where my bands used to play and
Nice.
stuff. So, well, I hope people show up. Reno.
Yeah, no,
could
it'll
hit or
still be
miss.
fun. I
fun.
love shows like that. They're like getting more intimate and then possibly even like jumping into the crowd and stuff like that. That's not a promise, but you know.
Reno, get out there. I'm going to tell all my music friends up there, they better head out to that show because I know a lot of guys in bands up there still.
Right on.
But good stuff. I'm stoked for you guys.
Yeah.
It's been an exciting point of your career,
Yes.
I feel like. And with this tour coming up, I think it's just you're really going to see the fruits of your labor. So congrats with it all.
Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much. Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
that.
Yeah, everyone check them out, the home team, and catch them on tour with Honey Revenge, Broadside, and then Senses Fail.
Yeah. God. Not the same tour, but
Different tour.
But anyways.
Bye.